Hey there, this is Red. It's time for Red Reveals. So, just in the mail this week, I received QE. So, QE is a game that came out from boardgametables.com, and they produced it. And it's an interesting game. Well, number one of the interesting factors for that is I'm in Kansas City. I'm actually at Lee Summit. It's kind of a little suburb on the southeast side of Kansas City, and Board Game Tables is based out of Lenexa, which is on the other side of the state line of Kansas City, and actually the Kansas side of Kansas City, not the Missouri side of Kansas City, which is the inferior side, but still it's in the same generic area. So anyway, I like to support local, folks doing their thing. So let's open this game up and I'll talk about it a little bit. The game's got some interesting mechanics to it that I thought were of note and part of the reason why I wanted to buy this. So it wasn't just that it was a local game. It was also that it looks like an interesting game made by a local company. So let's unbox this here. All right, so here's our box. I'm gonna take the lid off. And inside here, we've got a set of markers. We've got buy a bunch of tables. Now, actually, I also got On Tour. So we'll be doing an unboxing of On Tour here pretty quick, but not right now. Right now, we're talking about QE. All right, so in our box of QE, we've got, hey, look like plastic bags. We've got some things that are already falling out, so I'm just gonna punch a couple of them out. Let's see here. Man, they're half falling out already. Let's just make this quick and we'll knock them out right here. We're gonna do like a game prep and review at the same time. See, isn't this fun? Maybe I should make videos of just me punching things out. Would that be exciting? Like 3 hours of me punching out the latest Marvel Champion stuff or something like that. All right, I think I've got almost all of them out of there. Most of them, anyway. So we've got discs, we've got our checks, we've got a couple more discs, whoa, coming out of there. We've got our player tokens, which will pop out of there. Pop, pop, pop. Our first player marker and our boards. Got a set of boards. We've got a US board, an EU board, CN board, JP board in UK. So UK, Japan, Canada, the EU, and the US. Interestingly, we've got a UK and EU board separate. So I guess we've Brexited at this point, at the point the game was made. So we also have a rule book in here. And that's going to make up the entire contents of the box. All right, so we've got player boards, number one. We've got some tokens for choosing the colors that you're going after, because on these tokens that you're going after, they have colors for the different types of industry that are out there. So I'm flipping them to, there we go. All right, so we've got different types of industry. Like it looks like this one's got like some sort of smokehouse, smokestack. I'm guessing industrial, wireless, probably like telecom. And then we see, this looks like money. Green for money, and I think there should be one more. There we go. That's kind of got like a yellow corn thing, so I'm guessing that's agriculture, right? And so we'll look at one of those on big size, right? So you've got, this is Japan base, so you would get extra points if you're playing Japan and you buy this one. It's got a base point value of 3, and that's the industry. So if you collect, so that's your base point value, and then there's some additional points that you can get if you collect multiples of the same type, or you span all of them, right? So if you look at your player board here, right, you'll see that if I get 2 of blue, then I get 6 points, or 10 of blue, I would get, or 3 of blue, I would get 10 points. And there's also points for diversification. If you get all in a row, then you get a set of points for that. So it's pretty cool. So what the interesting thing about this game is, the way a turn works is you have 4 players. Let's say we have 4 players. We've got UK, US, EU, and Canada, let's say. All right. Now you're going to have these tokens out there and they're going to be in a pile. And the first player is going to grab a token and they're going to flip it over. And then on their check, they're going to grab one of these markers and they're going to write what the bid is. So they bid, and this number can be anything that they want it to be. All right, so you say, okay, I think what I'm going to bid for this puppy is 500. All right, so that's the starting bid for this. Now the other players, they all do their bidding in private. So maybe the US decides 600, and then the EU over here decides they're going to bid 0, which you can once per round. If you bid 0, you can get some points. But then the UK decides, well, I think US might really go for it, so I'm going to bid 1 million. All right, so then they all do their bids. They would hand it to the Canadian player. The Canadian player gets all the bids, he looks at them. He says, oh, okay, it looks like the UK won there, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to put the UK's bid on the back of here, which is 1 million. So he's going to take this one and he's going to scribble 1 million on the back of there. And then you would hand it back to the UK player, right? So now the UK player has this token and he'd mark it down on his board for its value and all of that. And you would move on to the next round. Now, nobody knows what was bid. Well, actually, the Canadian player knows what the winning bid was, right? Everybody else knows that. So the EU person knows that it was over 500. The US person knows that he bid over 600, which, is there. But nobody knows exactly, except for the Canadian player and the UK player, what was bid on that, right? So you can bid any amount that you want to get things, which is cool. But the other part of the game is if you are the person at the end of the game, you're kind of trying to figure out point salad here, what's going on. What happens at the end of the game is if you have spent the most money, then you automatically lose. So that's a fantastic part of this game is you can spend whatever you want, but if you get to the end of the game and you've spent the most, then you're out. So it makes for an interesting mechanic because at this point in time, like these people have all stayed in the hundreds, but the UK player has spent 1 million, so he's way over what everybody else has spent. So it comes around to the UK player's turn. So what the UK player, maybe he ends up throwing this card, which is worth 4 points, right? This comes out. What he may do at that point in time is open his bidding up at like 900,000. And everybody else has got to wonder, well, why the heck does he really want it that bad? It's a 4.1. Do I want to go over that? Do I want to push the money? I mean, there's a lot of interesting interactions that can happen with this game. So anyway, really the intent of this was a quick unboxing just to show you what's all in there. So we've got dry erase markers. We've got our pieces here that we're buying. There's a good stack of them. The quality on these is really good. I mean, if you look at them, they're good, thick cardboard there, and the printing is very colorful and beautiful. I mean, these are nice, substantial pieces, and that always makes playing a game that much better when you've got good quality pieces there. Everything here is just really nice. I'm very impressed with the production quality on this. They didn't really cheap out on anything here, so I'm really looking forward to playing this with my kids. My kids are like, they really get into economics and numbers and things like that. So I think this will be a lot of fun to play with them. So anyway, that's a quick unboxing. And I guess just to see what it looks like all going back into the box, because sometimes that can be difficult with games. So let's take a look at putting things back into the box. And this is so simple. So they give me a bunch of plastic bags that I could potentially use to put stuff back into the box, but let's look here. Back in. Oops, actually I should put that in the maybe proper orientation. There we go, like that. All boxes back up really easy. Pretty light. I like it. So there you go. A quick unboxing of QE by Board Game Tables here in Lenexa, Kansas. So I haven't played yet, but I think this is going to go in my recommendation list. That's my prediction. So we'll come back later and we'll do a playthrough and review. When I do that, after I've played it a couple of times, I'll let you know what I think about it in kind of like the final analysis. So that's it for now, and thanks for watching.